What's going on? What's going on, good people? You know what time it is. It's the halftime report. Y'all go ahead, pull up a chair, sit back. We got you covered. We're going to talk about this first half, y'all. Let's go. BirdCage. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Here's the thing that we got to talk about today. The offense is definitely getting a chance to get in rhythm, but again, some piss poor decisions at the end of the first half cost us points, but we're not going to get too heavy into that. Let's talk about what's been going on today. The offense puts up 17 points in the first half. Communication is a lot better on the sideline now with Zach Robinson there. Now, the only thing that I will push back on at this point right now is really we got to get out of the pistol formation in certain situations. 3rd and 1, short yardage, get under center. Start running rub routes. We're starting to push the ball downfield, which is also a beautiful thing. But the problem is this. When you had Washington pinned up, instead of putting Penix in a bad situation, and that's in that point before the first half ends, you should have called the timeout. Your defense has been playing solid today. You should have called a timeout. That right there just wasn't good. We got to start using Pitts a little bit more. Pitts is starting to find a rhythm. Drake London, we actually have a Drake London sighting right about now. He pretty much has a touchdown today. Then you got Bijan with the beautiful run, just pretty much not going down. And if you look at it, Bijan's got 54 yards, averaging 4.5 yards a carry. Tyler Algier, he's only averaging 1 yard a carry. But again, as I said before, if you're going to get the big man rolling, you got to get him in a situation to where he doesn't have to run 7 yards up to the line of scrimmage where you give a defense a head start. They got to shorten up that backfield to get him going too. Now, the other thing that you got to see at this point is this. Pitts is averaging 13 yards. He's been a great release valve, and they've been using him and beating those guys on the perimeter. I think what we need to do is scheme him up a little bit more on the perimeter and have him as a mismatch because Washington's defense really can't cover him. And then you also have Drake London, as we said. We had a Drake London sighting. They're starting to find him. 6 receptions, 95 yards, about to get 100, and coming close to actually having more yards than he's had in the first 3 games. Now, the other thing is you got to get Darnell Mooney going. Mooney tried to make a great effort to make a catch on the sideline. It would have been a chunk play, but didn't happen. Happens like that. Also, got to give a shout out to Divine Diablo. 4 solo tackles, 1 pass deflection, definitely doing his thing. And also, D. Alford on the defensive side of the ball. Got beat a couple of times, but you also have to look at the fact that D. Alford is in a position to where he damn near caused the turnover. When he hit Deebo Samuel, ball comes out. Now, can't sit there and be totally mad at that because I can respect the effort. He's definitely putting in some effort today. Now, the one thing that needs to change at this point is the special teams. Special teams is still abysmal. Nice tackle before the half, Mike Ford, when you put the laid the lick on that guy. But at the same time, kick returning is awful. We're letting Christian McCaffrey's little brother get off on us in the return game. He also has a touchdown in the receiving game. We have to get better at covering in special teams. Whether it's kick return, whether it's punt return, we have to get better. Special teams is abysmal at this point. That is the Achilles heel right now. That's the Achilles heel with this team. Now, if you're looking at offensive efficiency at this point, I'm going to go ahead and bring up some stats for you guys real quick so you guys can see what we look like offensively and how we've been converting and how we've been able to sustain drives. We pretty much had the ball the whole first quarter. That is something we have not seen in a long time. They only had 1 possession in that first quarter. Michael Penix Jr. with 150 yards, 12 out of 17 for 1 touchdown. Definitely should have 2 touchdowns right now because he missed Bijan on the route where Bijan was sailing it and going flat. We have 7 first downs passing, 5 first downs on rushing, 13 total first downs today. We are 2 out of 6 on third down. That has to get better. 1 and 1 on fourth down. I'm okay with that, but I want the third down efficiency to become better. 205 total yards. We have 5 drives today. We're averaging 5.7 yards a carry. A drive. You might as well say that's 6 yards per drive. You have 144 passing yards. You have 61 rushing yards. You're averaging 3.4 yards a carry. Now, Washington has 58 rushing yards, but the reason they're having a 7.3 average is because of the big run that they were able to get off before they scored their first touchdown of the ball game. Also, we're averaging 3.5 yards an attempt. That's got to get a little bit better. We got to get out of the pistol. We have 3 penalties for 15 yards. We're 2 out of 3 in the red zone. Red zone efficiency is getting a little bit better, but I'd like to see it get even much, much more better. Bijan Robinson, you made a hell of a play with that run, but you got to hold on to the football. There was a fumble earlier in the game. Fortunately, Penix was able to dive on it. We have to be able to hold on to the football. If you can't hold on to the football, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So we have to be able to take care of the football because you make great plays, but it doesn't look great when you make a hell of a run and that ball is over there or you get hit at the line of scrimmage and you cough it up. And you cost us momentum in this game. Excuse me. Zach Harrison is playing like a man on fire. That's been my X factor for this season. Zach definitely is wreaking havoc in that backfield. He is wreaking havoc. So when you sit back and you look at it, we got a sack, but the pass rush needs to get a lot better. We're still not where we need to be. And, we got 2 sacks on Marcus Mariota. Frankie Louvu got a sack off of Michael Penix Jr., but we've got to get better. We've got to get better because at this point right now, Atlanta is definitely giving up a lot in this game. And we're playing against a team that's wounded. We are playing against a team that's wounded right now. This is where you got to just put your foot on their necks and break it. Washington isn't going away. Yet. They're going to still be here. They're still going to play tough against us. Now, here's the other thing that we also have to look at too. The time of possession is 19 minutes for us, and they have 10 minutes. We have to continue to control the line of scrimmage. We have to continue to control the time of possession. Shout out to the offensive line right now. The offensive line is playing extraordinarily well against this defense up front. And Washington is one of the top defenses in the league. You look at that front, they made it to the NFC Championship last year. Not much change. They added to it. But when you look at what Washington is bringing to the table, you got to give credit to Eric Golston. Kendrick Golston, he played for us for a little bit, and he's doing his thing. And then you got to look at the Alabama native that's on that offensive line, Deron Payne. Payne has been balling too. But the one thing we need to cause on the defensive side of the ball, we need a turnover. We need to make Marcus turn that ball over. We got to make him feel uncomfortable. He's got some penalties for grounding and a few other things today. He hasn't hit his stride because he hasn't been comfortable. We've got to keep him uncomfortable at this point. This is the best thing that you can say about the Atlanta Falcons at this point. The defenses came to play. The offenses came to play. It's the special team side that we need to get better. Parker Romo is doing the damn thing today. You got to give him his credit because he hit his field goal. After missing 2 field goals last week and doing what he did, you have to give this kid credit because now he's figuring out what can I do to get out of this funk. And he's getting out of this funk. And we need him to continue because if he gets out of this or whatnot, you put Atlanta in a position to click on all cylinders. as I said last week, it's still early in the season, very early in the season. No need to hit the panic button. Hey, these guys got to grow. Young team, young talent, they got to grow. They got to trust each other. They have to understand the intricacies and the flows of the game. Atlanta right now has a lot of ebbs and flows right now of this ball game. And currently, if you guys can't watch it, I got to give you an update. The Tampa Bay Bucks are down 24-6. Philly is putting belt to ass, ladies and gentlemen. Belt to ass. That is just a beatdown that they're taking right now. Next, you also have our other rival, the Carolina Panthers, who we have struggled with. They are losing right now 28-6. So, with that being said, as I said earlier, it's a long season. Yes, we're 0-2 in the division. However, you just got to win ball games. You got to win ball games. We got to get off the field a little bit more and a little bit more efficiently on the third downs. Can't let them get comfortable. Got to stop McCaffrey, but you cannot let Deebo Samuel get going because he had a couple of plays where he was about to get going. And again, we messed up the momentum when D. Alford made him fumble. He catches a pass out of bounds. The defense is held up. They really put us into a good spot. You're giving Penix a chance to get in his rhythm. And got to give a shout out to Penix with that beautiful 41-yard pass down the field to Drake London. That was a thing of beauty. You put that on the rope, and Drake fingertip catched it and looked the ball in and brought it in. That was a beautiful, beautiful catch. Now, we want to see a little bit more of that. They finally are starting to air it out and trying to take it downfield to open up the defense. We're going to have to continue that. Now, the other thing that we're going to have to do, we've got to continue to let JPJ hunt. This is one of the pieces that we talked about this week. JPJ has to hunt. JPJ has to be in a spot to where he can get off. Leonard Floyd showed up at the quarterback. Brandon Dorless. Hi, Ruka Roro. You finally showed up to the game today. Thank you, my brother. We appreciate you for coming through in this ball game too. But you're seeing it. These guys might not be getting sacks, but they're taking Mariota off of his spot. We've got to continue to keep him flustered. Even if we're not sacking him yet, I want to sack him, but you have to finish. You have to disrupt the timing of that offense. Period. You have to disrupt the timing of that offense. You also have to tackle. Xavier Watts, got to call you out, buddy. You had a one-on-one tackle that you missed that set up Washington's touchdown when their running back, Cooksey, rolled pretty much over 40 yards down the field and set them up. You have to. You got to step down. At the end of the day, you're the last line of defense. There are some people that were blaming Diablo for that, but here's the thing. Diablo pretty much blew up the blocker. You had a one-on-one shot with the running back. You have to make those tackles. You have to make those tackles because we cannot afford to give up momentum or big plays to give them confidence. We got to keep them down and questioning themselves. Special teams, tackle better. Mike Ford, great shot that you put on at the end, but we have to tackle better and we have to cover better because, again, it's 3 times today that we've had players that have broken and actually almost taken it the distance. But they didn't take it the distance. We have a whole second half. Let's see how these adjustments are made because Dan Quinn's going to make adjustments. Cliff Kingsbury's going to make adjustments. You have to make sure that we finish this thing off. You've got to finish this thing off at this point. And at this point in juncture, finish the game. Finish the game. This is the best thing that you can do is finish this ball game. So, again, I appreciate you guys for tapping in. Xavier Watts is hurt right now. He was injured or whatnot, but we're getting ready to get back to it because the ball game is on. Please check out the post-game show, the party line or benediction. I want to have a party line today. However, we know the benediction could possibly follow, depending on how this second half goes. But I trust the fact that they're going to make adjustments and get everything right. So, thank you for tapping in with us. We'll catch you after the show. After the game for the post-game show. You You tune in with us then. Ghost.